The air tastes like champagne and old money. It's too warm in here, the kind of heat that comes from too many bodies pressed into too small a space, even if that space is a ballroom overlooking the city. My sister Katherine is glowing, a perfect, radiant sun in the center of the room, rings sparkling under the chandeliers. Everyone orbits her. They always have. I'm standing near the back, nursing a drink that costs more than I make in a week, or at least it felt that way for most of my life. The music is a pleasant hum, background noise to the symphony of congratulations and laughter. I plaster on a smile that feels stiff and alien on my face. This is happiness, I tell myself. For her. For Katherine. My mother glides over, a vision in emerald green, her smile fixed and bright for the crowd, but it softens, changes, when she reaches me. A different kind of soft. It's the kind that says, "Oh, it's just you." She takes my arm, her grip surprisingly strong. She leans in close, the scent of her expensive perfume a suffocating cloud. Her voice drops to a whisper, just for me, meant only for my ears in this room full of hundreds. It cuts through the music, the laughter, the hum of conversation, sharper than any knife. "Isn't she just radiant?" she murmurs, gesturing with her chin towards Katherine. Her eyes are shining, filled with a pride that has always felt rationing when it came to me. "Your sister. She's done it." Everything we ever wanted for her. She squeezes my arm, a final, tight squeeze. She won life. She won life. The words hang in the air between us, heavy, suffocating. Not a life. Not her life. Life itself. As if it were a competition. A zero-sum game. And she just definitively declared the winner. Not me. Never me. My smile doesn't just feel stiff now. It feels brittle. It feels like glass about to shatter. My throat closes up. I can't breathe. The air that tasted like champagne now tastes like ash and bitter defeat. This wasn't just a casual observation. This was the culmination of decades. Decades of quiet comparisons, of subtle preferences, of "why can't you be more like Katherine?" dressed up as gentle guidance. I see myself as a child, bringing home A++ when Katherine got an A. My mother's sigh. "Well, that's nice, dear. Katherine's report card is just perfect this quarter." I see myself in college, getting a scholarship to a good but not Ivy League school. "That's lovely," she'd said, "but Katherine got into Yale and Harvard. You know, I see myself trying to start my first business, pouring my heart and soul into it, only for it to fold after 18 months. Such a shame," my mother had said, not unkindly, but Katherine's always been so much more. Grounded in reality. That corporate job of hers, so stable. Katherine, the golden child. Katherine, the standard. Katherine, the one who did everything right, effortlessly gliding from achievement to achievement. She married well, a kind, wealthy man from a good family. She had a successful, predictable career. She bought the perfect house. She won life. And I was just me, trying, failing, trying again, always falling short in the grand scoreboard my mother kept in her head. The music swells, momentarily drowning out my internal monologue, the echo of that devastating whisper. I feel lightheaded. The room tilts slightly. I want to run. I want to scream. I want to shatter something beautiful and expensive in this perfect room filled with perfect people celebrating the perfect winner. I want to ask them where they're watching from, what time it is in their corner of the world. If they've ever felt that cold, sharp cut of comparison, that casual dismissal of their entire existence. Let me know in the comments. I read all of them. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. It helps me more than you know. The weight of my mother's words presses down on me, heavy as a tombstone. She won life. It's not just about Katherine. It's about me. It's the ultimate judgment. You, my dear, are not a winner. You are not enough. You didn't get the prize. And standing here, in this room, surrounded by the shimmering evidence of Katherine's victory, it feels undeniably true. I look at my husband, Michael. He's across the room, talking to some of Katherine's fiancé's relatives. He catches my eye and gives me a small, private smile. My heart clenches, but not with pain. With something else. Something solid. Something that feels like bedrock beneath my shaking feet. He doesn't see me as not Katherine. He sees me. He sees us. The late nights fueled by cheap coffee and ambition. The moments of doubt he talked me through. The way he believed in the impossible idea that everyone else called crazy. He was there in the trenches, building something with me, brick by painstakingly difficult brick. He knows the cost of my struggle because he paid part of it too. My mother's words, meant to put me back in my box, have the opposite effect. They don't crush me. They ignite something cold and sharp inside. A clarity born of pain. This narrative. The one where Katherine wins and I lose. It's not just my mother's story. It's the one I've been living, the one I've been accepting, internalizing for 40 years. And in this instant, with the taste of ash in my mouth and the sight of Michael's steady smile across the room, I decide I'm done. Done accepting the role of the also-ran. Done letting their limited vision define my reality. Done believing their scorecards. The program for the evening is announced. Speeches. The father of the bride speaks first. He's lovely, tells a few embarrassing stories about Katherine as a child. The crowd laughs. It's all so perfect. So predictable. Then the groom. Katherine's fiancé, David. He's genuinely kind. You can see it in his eyes. He talks about meeting Katherine, about how she changed his world. More perfection. More radiant glow from my sister. My mother beams, practically vibrating with pride beside me now. She glances at me, a quick, sharp look, as if to reinforce her earlier point. See? This is winning. My turn is coming. Or rather, Michael's turn. As my husband, he's expected to say a few words. Usually it's a quick toast, wishing the couple well. Predictable. Small. Forgettable. Just like me, in this narrative. But something is different tonight. The air still feels thick, but now it hums with a different kind of energy. Meaning. I look at Michael again. He nods almost imperceptibly. He knows. We haven't discussed exactly what he'll say, but we've discussed everything else. The years of work, the risks, the absolute belief in what we were building. And the quiet, unspoken understanding that this night, of all nights, felt like a test. A final, public grading. David finishes his speech. There's applause. Katherine looks like she might cry happy tears. It's the picture of pure, unadulterated joy and success. Then the MC steps up. And now, he says, his voice booming through the room, let's hear a few words from the bride's sister's husband, Michael. A ripple of polite applause. Michael makes his way to the microphone. He looks calm. Too calm. He stands there for a moment, scanning the room. His eyes find mine again. He smiles. Not the small, private one this time. A broader smile. One that reaches his eyes and holds a hint of mischief? No. Not mischief. Certainty. Absolute, unwavering certainty. He starts conventionally enough. He thanks David's family, congratulates Katherine and David, talks about how happy he is for them. My mother is still vibrating beside me, her attention already drifting, ready to move on to the next perfect moment in her perfect daughter's perfect night. Then Michael pauses. He adjusts the microphone slightly. The hum of conversation, which had resumed, dies down as people turn back, wondering if he's finished. You know, he says, his voice carrying easily through the silent room, it's incredible to witness this kind of success. True partnership. Building something incredible together. That's something I understand on a very deep level. He pauses again. He's not looking at me. He's not looking at Katherine or David. He's looking out at the room. At the faces of the investors, the family friends, the people who have watched our family drama unfold for years. My mother shifts beside me. A flicker of annoyance crosses her face. Why is he talking about himself? This is Katherine's night. Michael continues, his voice gaining a quiet strength. My wife, he says, and his eyes meet mine again, locking on. The world shrinks to just us. She is the most brilliant, most determined, most incredible person I know. We started something together a few years ago. A small idea. Most people didn't see it, didn't understand it. Some people actively doubted it. He lets that hang in the air. I know exactly who he's talking about. Not just my mother, not just Katherine with her polite skepticism, but so many others in this room. The polite smiles that masked pity. The well-meaning advice to be more realistic. But she, he says, his voice full of fierce pride, she never wavered. She poured everything into it. Her vision, her courage. And I was lucky enough to be her partner, to build it alongside her. He takes a breath. The air feels thin again. Everyone is watching him now. My mother is no longer vibrating. She's still. Frozen. Katherine's radiant smile has tightened at the edges. And I'm incredibly proud, Michael says, his voice clear and strong, to announce tonight, amongst family and friends, that the company we built together, our company, has just finalized a joint venture agreement that values us at $100 million. $100 million. The number hangs in the air. It's not a quiet whisper. It's a declaration. A thunderclap in the perfectly curated silence. The room holds its breath. I watch my mother. Her face, moments ago alive with pride for Katherine, is now completely still. Frozen. Her eyes are wide, fixed on Michael. The color drains from her cheeks, leaving behind a stark, pale mask. Her lips part slightly, but no sound comes out. The emerald dress suddenly looks too bright, too loud. She looks like a statue carved from ice, melting under a sudden, impossible sun. Katherine's perfect smile shatters. Her eyes dart from Michael to me, wide with disbelief, with shock, with something that looks a lot like dawning horror. The radiant glow is gone, replaced by a sudden, cold shadow. The silence stretches. It feels like an eternity. You could hear a pin drop if anyone were capable of dropping anything. Everyone is frozen, staring, not at Katherine, the radiant bride, the winner of life, but at me, at Michael, at the impossible number hanging in the air between the glittering chandeliers and the expensive champagne. The sound starts as a ripple, a few gasps, then a murmur, then a confused, hesitant burst of applause. It's not the polite applause from before. It's louder, more stunned, more curious. People are looking at me differently, their eyes scanning me, reevaluating everything they thought they knew. Michael steps away from the microphone, a ghost of a smile still on his face.
He walks towards me.
He doesn't look at my mother or Katherine. His focus is entirely on me. He reaches me and takes my hand. His hand is warm, solid, real. It grounds me in the swirling, disbelieving room. My mother is still frozen. Her gaze is locked on me now, filled with a mixture of shock, confusion, and something I've never seen before, uncertainty. She opens her mouth, closes it. Her perfect composure has completely deserted her. She looks lost. Katherine is whispering something to David, her eyes wide, her face pale. The radiant winner looks utterly blindsided. And me? The loser. The also-ran. The one who didn't win life. I feel
calm.
A deep, quiet calm settling over me. It's not triumphant, not gloating. It's something colder. A profound, quiet satisfaction. This wasn't about proving anything to them anymore.
Not really.
It was about finally living a truth they couldn't dismiss. A truth built not on comparison, but on partnership, resilience, and a quiet, relentless belief in something unseen. The applause is growing now, becoming more genuine as the shock wears off and the scale of the announcement sinks in. People are looking at me with new eyes. Not the polite, slightly pitying eyes from earlier. Eyes filled with respect.
With awe.
With sudden, keen interest. My mother takes a shaky step towards me. Her hand reaches out, then drops. Her smile is gone, replaced by a stunned, almost pleading expression.
You
didn't say, she stammers. I look at her, really look at her. And I see not the matriarch who held the scorecards, but a woman who just had her entire worldview, her carefully constructed narrative of who her daughters were, completely upended. There's a flicker of something in her eyes that might be regret, or maybe just confusion. But there's no trace of the radiant pride she'd shown for Katherine moments before. The victory she declared so confidently for one daughter had just been quietly, irrevocably claimed by the other. Michael's hand is warm in mine. He squeezes it gently. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't need to. Everything that needed to be said was said at the microphone. $100 million. It wasn't just a number. It was a mic drop that echoed through 40 years of quiet judgments and unspoken comparisons. The rest of the night is a blur. People converging, offering congratulations. Their faces are a mix of genuine excitement and thinly veiled curiosity. My mother hovers, trying to regain control of the narrative, stumbling over her words. Katherine is gracious, but her eyes are still wide, the shock not fully worn off. I move through the room, no longer feeling like an outsider. The air still smells of champagne, but the bitterness is gone, replaced by something that feels clean and sharp. It's not a feeling of winning against Katherine. It's a feeling of finally winning for myself, of validating the years of struggle, the quiet determination, the refusal to accept their definition of success. Later, much later, after the crowd thins, Michael and I stand outside, waiting for our car. The city lights glitter below us. The night air is cool on my skin. The sound of the party is a distant hum. Michael wraps an arm around me. "You okay?" he asks, his voice low. I lean my head on his shoulder. "Yeah," I say softly. "Yeah, I think I am." The weight is gone. The weight of the whisper, the weight of the comparison, the weight of feeling perpetually less than. It lifted the moment Michael said that number. Not because of the money itself, but because of what it represented. Not just wealth, but validation. Proof of something real that we built, together, against the quiet currents of doubt and dismissal. There's still a sadness, a quiet ache for the relationship I never had with my mother, for the ease Katherine always seemed to possess. The victory doesn't erase the past, doesn't mend the subtle fractures of a lifetime, but it changes the future. It changes the story. My mother's words, "She won life," were meant to be the final sentence. But they weren't. They were just the painful prelude to a new chapter. One I'm writing now. One word at a time. One partnership at a time. One quiet, undeniable success at a time. And this time, I'm not comparing my story to anyone else's. I'm just living it. Fully. Finally. And if this story hit close to home, I'd love to hear your version. Drop a comment below with where you're listening from and what time it is. Thanks for being here. Subscribing helps bring more of these stories to life.